Food and weight obsession can be exhausting. Losing weight, gaining weight, dieting, feeling like a failure because you missed a workout, binged, overate, or gained all the weight back. The cycle is endless and it can be maddening. But I'm here to say you can stop the mental madness. You can take back control of your food behaviors, but you have to face your fears, you have to ask for help, and make a change. I am Leslie M. Thornton, permanent weight loss coach from hpwl.co. This is Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss, and I know you can make this happen. On this podcast, you will hear how to stop the mental madness, love your body, trust your food decisions so you can create a life of happiness, freedom, and inner peace. Good. And just give yourself a self-worth check-in. So a scale from 1 to 10. How are you feeling about yourself today?
Probably a 9.
Okay. Animals love to come on these calls. Good. And then 4 feelings you can feel in your body right now. You can just name them as you feel them and allow and accept them all.
Pain, peace, acceptance. Joy.
Beautiful. And what's one thing you're celebrating today?
That I think I got this. I think that just the freedom. I noticed the freedom, and I've noticed the freedom that I feel. It's like, thank you. It's like you allowed me to be okay with myself, and you allowed me to. It was like you gave me permission to accept myself where I am and not always trying to fit that square peg in the round hole. It's like, okay, Weight Watcher says you have to weigh 150. And if you don't weigh 150, you're going to pay forever and ever and ever until you stay at 150 or 2 pounds below or 2 pounds above, in that freedom that's like, it's okay to be where I'm at. And I know, like, I listened to the your where you talked about how you got into this, how when you left nursing kind of stuff, but just that freedom of saying, I'm okay today, I'm okay where I am, and knowing the science and knowing the facts that when you're okay where you're at, when you quit telling your body to be something it's not, your body goes into stress mode. Your body goes into, like you said, oh my God, is I ever going to have a cookie again? Well, maybe you better eat 6 right now because she might just take those cookies away tomorrow. Then you won't have them anymore. Or just that freedom, knowing that your body will naturally stabilize and say, okay, after a while, it realizes, oh, it's okay. When you have stress, you hold on to fat anyway. So that's not helpful. That you hold on, was it cortisol or whatever it is that it makes you hold on to fat. So when you're always stressing your body out with the yo-yo dieting, up down, will I have this tomorrow? Maybe I won't. Let's eat more of this because we don't know when we're going to have it again. And just that freedom from all that stress that I don't have anymore. And it's like I've been given permission in a way that says it's okay, you're okay. Quit fighting this. Quit trying to be what society, or what, not society, well, society in a sense, society, the medical profession, whatever, says that you have to be. Because I read that, or I looked, what was it? Health at any.
Oh yeah, health at every size.
Health at every size. Yeah. So I looked into that and I read their mission statement and stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's like really cool.
Nice.
Don't have to be. There's plenty of, like you said, plenty of like overweight people who are perfectly healthy, and a lot of skinny people who are really unhealthy. I used to always say, I don't want to be the first one to go when there's a famine. So, better hang on to something.
That's hilarious. I choose this so I can outlive people in times of crisis. Yeah. Oh my God.
Dying, I will say, well, see, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't have been dieting so much in your life. You would have lived longer. That's terrible.
And I hear my mom on her deathbed saying, I could stand to lose a little weight. I still, that like haunts me. It's just like, oh my gosh, that's so insane. I mean, I still hear her saying that. And that was like the day that she died,
Wow.
passed away. And it was unexpected. So we all thought she was going to rally back. And so, but I just remember her saying that. And I'm like, ugh, I don't want to be like that. No, no. I do feel the freedom in, and I ask and I listen to intuitive eating like 3 times at least. Just, asking my body what it wants, do you want an apple or do you want chips with your lunch? Probably an apple would make you feel better, would be more satisfying. And, I might choose the chips one day, but I, most often are going to choose the apple. If I had some good apples, I got like 10 apples today and they were all horrible. So I threw them all.
Nice.
I will not eat an apple unless it's crunchy and sweet tart. If it's like mushy at all, it's like, oh, can't.
No.
But I didn't go and search for anything else. I'm like, I was like, I just said, I'll just eat dinner early tonight. So
Wow.
yeah, but I noticed, I mean, my biggest problem wasn't with binging all the time, but it was those mini binges that was led on by, oh, well, I've blown it now, because you feel like you've gone over your points or you've blown it. So you might as well just finish off having a bad day and then start over tomorrow, where every day is a good day. And every day I don't worry about, honestly, I haven't even really even wanted to get on the scale, because I'm like, what's it going to tell me? My pants are fitting. I feel fine. I feel good. The next time I go to the doctor in December, I'll get weighed and we'll see what, but I feel like I know my body's going to stabilize. It'll help once I can start walking again, because I really enjoy walking, and this dang boot on my foot is making me go insane. But yeah, it's only like 5 more weeks, 4 more weeks. So.
Wow. Carolyn,
But
that's fantastic.
Sometimes you have to go through things, so it helps you slow down a little and catch up on the things you need to catch up on.
100%. I love that you can see that. Yeah. Well, I'm just so happy for you, and
something else that hit me this week, somebody was, I don't know what I was watching, because a lot of times I think, oh, if I'd only done this, or if I'd only done that, and then someone said, it's like wasn't it the butterfly effect? If you changed one thing in your past, it would change everything in your future. And I wouldn't have my daughters. If I didn't marry my ex-husband, I would have been, but I wouldn't have my daughters. I wouldn't have my stepdaughter. I wouldn't have my granddaughter. The whole, yeah, it's, yeah. So
yeah, like what if we could trust everything that's happened all the way up till now? We always made the best decision that we knew how to make with the resources we had at the time. And what if that means that was perfect?
No, and I truly believe it's like when I was we were moving from our old house, because it was time just to move. That house was falling apart, and I'm like a single mom. I had my neighbor that I took in under guardianship after her grandpa passed away when she was in junior high, and then I took her friend in under foster care who tried committing suicide, and her family that had her wouldn't take her back. So I'm like, we just got to get into a different house, different area. But that was the hardest thing I ever did, was taking in a very messed up foster child. But it was hard on my youngest daughter, but she said, Mom, if you didn't take her in, at least you got her through high school. You kept her from killing herself. There was advantages. But in the house search, we were passed up on a house that we really wanted. I'm like, okay, just center yourself. God doesn't close the door without opening a window. And then we found this house we're in right now. And my neighbor has a special needs son, and we are like so close, and we just get each other, So it was the perfect, and we have great neighbors. I mean, neighbors that if you need something fixed, they'll come fix it for you, and there's no cost attached. It's like, we do this because we're neighbors. We do this because that's what neighbors do. And so, everything happens. I know everything happens for a reason, good, bad, whatever. There's something to be learned in it.
Amazing. I love it.
Yeah. So I also
Good.
totally resonated with your nursing story and being
Mhm.
to work every day. I would like pray all the way to work. Please God, don't let anything bad happen today. Please don't let anything bad happen today.
You
Please don't let
also had that? Mm-hmm.
yeah, and total dread. And I worked in the Veterans Hospital, and I worked in their emergency room, which wasn't trauma emergency, but it was like a 8-bed emergency room. But we were notoriously understaffed on the weekends. It was horrible. I used to just pray to, and I worked mostly just weekends, and I just like pray, please don't let anything bad happen. Until one day it did, and that was like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't need this. Yeah.
A lot. Yep.
Yeah, so I know that fear. It's like I just, yeah, and it's like it was too much.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was. It was just like I was re-traumatized every time I walked in. I was just so terrified. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to talk about PTSD from nursing school. I was like,
Mm-hmm. I
and
definitely PTSD after that job for sure.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
could, yeah. So, but yeah, but it all worked out. I was able to quit, and like you said, you had to take a big step of faith. I did too because I had a drug addict husband, and I just had to like, I heard God say, just step out on the water and walk, and I won't let you sink. And I'm like, okay. And I used to tell my coworkers, they're like, what are you going to do? They're like, because they knew what kind of husband I had. And they're
Mm-hmm.
like, what for money? I said, oh, God will provide manna from heaven. And they would look at me like I was nuts. But I truly believed it. I truly believed that all my needs would be provided. And they were. I look back at some of my like journal entries, and how, prayers were answered, and how, and I was like on my last roll of toilet paper, my friend would come visit with a thing of toilet paper from Costco, and I'm like, yay. Did you know it's on my last roll today?
Wow.
Yeah. So, but your program has made a huge difference in just my thinking of food. And I feel just like so free. I can't.
Yes.
And when I first started, like I really weight loss was my intention. I'm like, oh good, I can lose weight and keep it off. But now that's not even my focus anymore. I'm like, if this is where my body's supposed to be, then this is where my body's supposed to be. And I'll be happy. Not for
Wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, you did it so quick. I mean, remember you were like, is it okay if I'm on Weight Watchers when I start?
I
And I'm
know
like, yeah,
that's
absolutely. It took you like 2 days before you were like, no more Weight Watchers. I'm discontinuing. I'm not renewing. Like you were just so ready, you know?
already but that was my go-to. That was my safety net. That was what I knew. That's what
Yep.
I knew would work to take the weight off, but I could never get it off. And then I realized that no, this is the madness is in that program, because they want, I mean, you're going to keep paying every time you go above your goal weight. They got you hooked. But I just don't want to keep thinking about that. I mean, maybe for some people that's great. But I was in the grocery store one day, and I used to be me. This lady's like with her little point thing,
Mm-hmm.
looking. I'm like, I know you're on Weight Watchers. She's like, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
say, I mean, I just thought them like, oh, you're on Weight Watchers, because she had her little app thing out, and she was like scanning, I'd like scan the things before I took them home, so I know how many points was in that before I took it home, and oh, if it had too many points, and oh, I can't enjoy that because it has too many points. Now I don't even care. If I want to enjoy it, I want to enjoy it. If I want it, I want it. And it doesn't give you license to go overboard, but your body knows. If you allow, eventually get to that point where your body knows what's, you get tired. If you eat out every night of the week, you feel gross. You
That's right.
feel, ugh. I mean, some people like that, but not me. I'd rather, you know, make a
You
healthy, have a healthy,
eventually get sick of it. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I get sick of it. And I get the, for, like you said, when you came off that super strict diet, you're eating all the things. And I think part of it for me was because Weight Watchers wasn't really super strict, but there was so much guilt attached to it. So you could eat whatever you wanted, but there's always that guilt in that kind of like shame, because, oh, I went over my points, which would lead to overeating a certain food because you felt like you really shouldn't be eating it. And there's just so much guilt. And so
Mm-hmm.
now I don't have that guilt attached to any food. It's like, if I want to have it, don't feel guilty, enjoy it.
That's right.
And
Yeah, that
And
story about going to the fair with your daughter that first weekend and just getting to enjoy it. And
yeah, because before I'd be like, oh my God, how many points do I have left? Well, I don't have like 2. What am I gonna eat for 2 points? I can have a piece of kale. I mean,
seriously though, oh, that
and
scarcity. This is all I can
then
have.
it's
Hmm.
just like yeah, it's like I don't. And then living your whole life around the points. Like a friend, oh, you want to go out for coffee? Oh, do you want to have, go out for coffee? I'm gonna have a sweet roll. Do you want one? Oh, yes, maybe, no, maybe, just but then before I'd be like, oh, I don't know how many points that is. How many points is that? Get on my day up, like the mat. I'm like, no. If
I
you
either
just
want it or I don't.
yeah,
Hmm.
you eat. I mean, I read an article, it was like in Women's Day or something, how this I said, oh, how I lost 40 pounds just not just changing, just eating whatever I want and increasing my exercise and not being caught up in the madness of counting calories and just normalizing because we will normalize.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of like, I mean, I get more clear on, the transformation that we provide for people all the time, and like just seeing, and I think I might have mentioned on the most recent podcast, but just like to go from women's old values being, wanting to make sure they look good. I think I mentioned this to you last week, like family, being a good daughter, being a good mother, right? Like having your whole life be, and then we
Right.
have this quantum moment is the way that I heard it described by Wayne Dyer, where, and then women were surveyed again for after they have this quantum moment, like this realization of like, this isn't me anymore. I want something more for myself. And then what they rate their values of is personal development, their own personal happiness, their spiritual connection, right?
Yeah.
Just generosity, giving back, like just these other. So it's like the program really bridges that gap from when people are, but they don't know necessarily how to get from that old value system to this one. So,
And because worse, I think in the past was so ingrained in us, as women,
mm,
that we have to be a certain way in order to be valued, in order to be loved, in order to be, which is totally not true.
mm-hmm.
I think it was Diane Keaton. There was a thing popped up on Facebook about people ragging her about she's letting her hair go gray and she's just embracing her aging process. And Hollywood is
Yeah,
like,
she's not doing anything.
yeah, Hollywood is like,
Makeup, no hair dye. Yeah, good for her, right?
I quit because I used to be. I mean, I started going gray in my 30s, and I colored my hair for years, and then I went gray for a while, and I just said I don't want to do this anymore. My friend who's a hairstylist is like, oh, if I'll color your hair for you if you just color your hair, and I'm like, ugh. Okay, well, if
I
you
love
promise
it. I love your hair the way it is. I think it really suits you.
lots
Hmm.
of. I had a young girl ask me where I got my hair done. I'm like,
Yeah.
pay for this, but then I'm like, then she quit. Then she kind of got tired of keeping her word, and I'm like, I'm just gonna. So I had a new hair person do my hair, and I'm like, can you just help me go back to my gray color? And I get compliments on my hair all the time.
Hmm.
Yeah, I earned every one of these hairs, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's too much work to color my hair. Ooh,
Hmm.
I have
Totally.
more to do and more other things I'd rather spend my money on than hair color.
I love that. Yeah, and I know that was also something else of that old belief of not being pretty. Like how has that mindset been for you?
You know, I quit. I quit telling myself I'm not. It's like
Nice.
I had my TV. I was on my desk doing like desk work today, and the TV clicked over to Google Pictures, run through it, and this picture popped up of me and my daughters. I'm like, oh, that's a really good picture, because I was listening about if you take a picture of the moon, it's sometimes it's not reality. We see like, an angle and, I'm like, oh, that's a really good picture. I look, and I'm thinking, I thought my mom was pretty, and people tell me all the time I look just like my mom. I mean, that's like splitting image of my mom. And I'm like, well, that's, my mom wasn't. I mean, I've quit being so negative about myself.
That's amazing. You did it so quick. Good for you.
You're amazing. You're,
Aw, well, thank you. Right
I
back
just,
at you.
like I said, I listen to the hypnosis probably like 5 times a night whenever I wake up and I can't go back to sleep. I put on the hypnosis.
Mm-hmm. So you've been sleeping better, you mentioned last week.
A little bit. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have been sleeping better. I woke up a lot last night just because I had this headache for like 2 days that just like would not quit. But today I woke up and felt a little better, went away. But yeah, no, I just really have kept strong with not drinking more than 1 cup of coffee. I mean, I did it the other day. I made like sometimes I just need more coffee. I need more coffee. And then I make it and I take a drink. I'm like, this doesn't taste good. It's not what I want.
Yes. Yes.
It's not what I want. Some water.
100%.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started doing this and like was just in the same, journey that you're on now, and just giving myself permission to have things that for so long I made bad and wrong. And then having that, initial, like I'd think like, okay, I'm going to actually have a sip of wine and then I'd have a sip and I'd be like, I don't want this. And I don't like and just like dumping it out. I was like, who am I,
Halloween. So we're sitting out front with our bowl of candy. And I haven't actually had a desire for any Halloween candy, but the bowl of candy within my mouth, I'm like, ooh, this was a Milky Way caramel. I'm like, ooh, this Milky Way caramel might be good. But then I put it in the kid's bag and I'm like, oh no, I was going to eat that candy. And so I'm like, through the bowl, looking for another one. I'm like, oh, here's one. So
Nice.
I like wait a few minutes and I opened it. I took one bite and it was like too sweet. It tasted horrible. I'm like, oh, almost had to spit it out. I'm like, threw that away.
Yes.
And I was like, I just want this one candy. And then I took it. It wasn't like, I'm like, no, I'm not going to eat this. But before I probably would have ate it because, tomorrow's a new day.
Mm-hmm.
We're not counting points now. This candy bar probably put me way over. Or, yeah, so I just kept eating candy until tomorrow was a new day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just the effort mentality that has you just go way overboard. You have no presence to how your body is actually feeling. It's just the mental that's eating it, of like all the thoughts, like I got to get it in and all the things.
Yeah. It's like worried that, and then it's doing all sorts of internal things because you're, freaking it out because you lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, starve it, feed it, starve it, feed it. And then just that whole process of not having it because it's going to put me over my points. Then I start searching for what's going to fill that need, fill that void that because like if I want a little bit of Ben and Jerry's ice cream now, I just have a little, scoop and I'm happy. But before I would eat like half the carton, or I just keep chopping away on it until I practically had half the carton because tomorrow's a new day. But then, or if I said, no, you can't have that because it's too many points, then I'm going to start grazing through something else, just kind of grazing, kind of binging, I guess, but grazing, looking for that instead of just feeling that, eating that, being done with it and saying, I'm okay. That was okay. There's no guilt attached to it. There's no self-loathing attached to it. It's just, you enjoyed it because you wanted it. So, yeah. So it's just the freedom is what's so great.
Wow. There's really no words. I couldn't be happier for you. I just really am. It's a big deal,
It is.
Decades and decades of being in that toxic relationship with dieting and your body and your food to just not in 4 or 5 weeks or whatever.
I'm wasted, but you learn, like you say, you learn something from everything, but just realize all that. I mean, how many years, decades I've been in Weight Watchers doing this off and on, because it worked, but it doesn't work, but it's all I knew. It was the only thing I knew other than doing something crazy. I tried Nutrisystems once and I'm like, oh, their food was disgusting. I'm like, yeah, forget this. You start getting desperate and you start searching for all these things that are really not the answer, because they're not, because there's still an underlying issue that's
right.
Yeah. And it's usually almost any diet leads to deprivation and guilt and shame. And there's no balance, no matter what they say. I can remember when you were talking about boot camp and when I used to go to this boot camp and I did it to lose weight. But they were so into really subtly wanting to do keto. They all ate keto, that most of them ate keto, and they all eat keto. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. No, eat kimchi. Oh, gross. I mean, I bought some, I'm like, oh, y'all eat this and I'll lose weight. I'm like, almost threw up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do this. There's no balance. There's no, and I used to work out. I mean, I like to work out. I mean, I do. It's because it's good for my head. And I used to like to run because it's good for my head. But I used to also do it because how many extra more points can I have because I'm working out, and forcing myself to go longer than I should or desired or enjoyed because it was helping, working towards helping me lose weight, not so much. It was kind of 50-50, but there was also ulterior motive, well, if I work out for 45 minutes, I can get like 5 more points, to eat. So you just really
all of the mental cartwheels go through to try to make it work. But yeah, you're right. I was just listening to podcast. I think it was a podcast yesterday that was talking about the diet industry. And it started out with the story in the 60s of the woman who was like closet eating a whole bunch of food, when her kids weren't around or something. And then she took herself to something like an Overeaters Anonymous or something. And it was super strict and super rigid. And so she would go in for the weigh-in because they also weighed in for what she was going to. And she lost 2 pounds. And apparently it was very strict. And they were like, you lost 2 pounds, but you were supposed to lose 2.9 if you were actually following what happened. So what happened, right? Kind of punitive. And so then she went and she shared it with her friends. And she was like, I lost 2 pounds. I was supposed to lose 2.9, but I didn't because I was eating these, little Debbie cakes or something. And her friends were like, you ate those little Debbie cakes and you still lost 2 pounds? Like, wow, that's still pretty good. And they were like, teach us how to do that. So then she started sharing her shame stories with her friends, and then gave her friends permission to also talk about their weird behaviors with food and their body thoughts and whatever. And so she started making her own little just like meetup group with her friends. And then somebody came to her and was like, this is super effective. Like, let me help you make this into a business, all of that to say, like, and then, every Jenny Craig and all these things that are, and they specifically, it's a business, like they found out how people take, and even with Weight Watchers, like, because they make like the Lifers Club or whatever it is, right? To forces, the life, right? It's like, and I think the statistics is something like 80% of people don't keep the weight off they initially lose with Weight Watchers. So like that's also part of their business model of knowing that people keep coming back to Weight Watchers because, right? And like they know that. All of that to say, things happen the way that they happen, but it's like even the woman who was the inventor of Weight Watchers, like with her binging on these, little Debbie cakes in the closet, like if she had what we teach in this program, like she wouldn't be doing that without needing to,
right.
weigh and moderate. And it's like,
being deprived. So she felt like, instead of like now, instead of just like having one and saying, okay, that's cool, I had one, I'm satisfied. Because I know tomorrow, and I could have one tomorrow, and I could have one tomorrow, and I could have one tomorrow. I have one every day. There's no limits. There's no guilt. It's like, I know Weight Watchers even kind of do the same thing. You get on the scale, oh, you're up 0.2, or you're up 2 pounds, or up 0.2, or you gained 0.2. I mean, do you really need to point out that someone gained 0.2? Oh, you gained, and that word gained. Oh my God, I gained. I better just go home. On my way home, I'm stopped by the donut shop now and get a donut because I gained. I might as well just finish it off.
Oh my goodness. You're flashing me back. I did Weight Watchers when I was in 8th grade. And I remember that scale, and I remember that pen and just seeing them in that booklet and like really writing out like 0.2, 0.1 and like
plus 0.2 plus
yes, right? Give me this piece of paper.
Don't you realize that we could have shifts in our body fluid within a day of 1 to 2 pounds?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Like this one
And it's
time in
funny.
the afternoon is really a good indicator of if I'm really up 0.2 or not. Like,
It's like you go to the bathroom before you weigh in. It's like you practically, strip down naked. People wear their lightest clothes. It's like there's still the games. It's like I played so many games. It's like, well, if I don't write it down, it doesn't count. So, I wasn't
mhm,
myself because I'm like, I wanted to be perfect. And so I wanted to see perfect, even though I knew I wasn't being perfect. But,
I
I have to
know.
write. I don't want to. I don't want. Yeah, just too much guilt and too much shame and too much. I'm so glad I'm done with it. Ugh.
Yay. So awesome. Yeah, and
And
not to like, I don't bash anything because there also is something of the community coming together and sharing about it and actually openly talking about, like, there's power in that. That's also part of this, and what if there's a better way where we can also just moderate our eating without needing to count points and track our weight and be stuck in the all or nothing and pass fail and good bad mentality, because that mentality is so not long
I
term.
know, and I guess maybe for some people it works, but not for me. Like good, bad. I was good, bad, black, white. Good food, bad food. Good day, bad day. A good day was if I stuck to my points. A bad day was if I went over, and that's not a bad.
Right. Like, you're missing out. You're living your life in black and white versus full color. Like, you're missing out on like the amazingness that life is because we're so focused on your points.
And
And
enjoying food for what it is.
yeah,
I want to
food
go to for my
enjoyable.
first birthday. I don't know what I'm going to have yet, but I'm going to have what I want to have and not worry about it. She's turning 21 Friday. Woo-hoo.
Woohoo! Fun. Party
Yeah,
time. She can drink.
yes, right, legally.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm so
So
happy for you. Is there anything that you feel like you need, or
no, you know what? I think I'm doing really good. I'm
I
just
think
going
you
to
are too.
goals and listening to the hypnosis. Although I did not like, no, it is just so joking. I started listening to, I'm like, I don't like this module. The one about turning your food you like into something you don't like,
Oh, okay. Okay.
thing into something I don't like. I like
Mhm.
everything.
And that's okay. You can feel free to reject it if you don't want to do it.
I get it though. If someone's having a problem, maybe like binging on chips or something, if chips was their problem, like there's a bag of chips in my cabinet. I've hardly, had a few with my lunch today, but it's not like I'm in there like, but I guess if the binging is your problem and binging on a certain item, I could see doing that.
Mhm. Yep, it's
But yeah,
just something to have in your toolbox. But
I
if you're liking where you're at without it, feel free to.
was like, I would like all my food. I don't want to put
Mhm.
cockroach in
Ah.
my, although I was going to have I make my own version of Starbucks, brown sugar shaken espresso. I use almond milk and, espresso pod and some, little bit of brown sugar. And, but I put the almond milk in it and the almond milk was bad. And I thought of the sour milk. And I'm like, I can't drink. This is bad. So I had to throw it away.
Woo. Woo. There you go. You made your own like to dislike it all.
Probably won't drink one. I'm like, oh, what's wrong? Why does it look so weird? And I'm like, oh, I guess almond milk's no good.
Yikes.
Didn't really need it. Want it anyway, really. I don't know why I was.
Hmm. That sounds yummy though. I was thinking recently about, because I had one that was really good, some kind of brown sugar shaken something or other, and I was like, okay, well, instead of paying $9 for that
Yeah,
drink.
I just have an espresso coffee machine, and so I have an espresso pods for it. And
Got
so I
it.
just espresso pod and I put like a teaspoon. I use the Splenda brown sugar. It's like half, it's like 50-50 brown sugar. It's 50 white sugar and Splenda brown sugar. But anyway, I put like a teaspoon in there, mix it up, and then ice and almond milk. And it tastes just like Starbucks
Sweet.
for half the price. I know Starbucks is,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this was at like some other boutique kind of place. It was just a little special treat, but I was like, well, definitely don't do that every day.
no, I know.
Not in my value system to do that every day. Some people may, and that's okay, but no, thank
You
you
know,
for me.
my card buying sandwiches at Starbucks every day. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What's it count? No more,
Yeah.
not for you. You have your job, you have your own money.
Yeah, totally. Yep. Just different strokes for different folks. I don't even like it that much, but some people it's worth it. So
Yeah, I'm like, I like it now and then. Sometimes it's so sweet. And it's
yeah.
just like, I know the caffeine jacks my sleep
Yeah.
around.
I know. I know. I'm not good with
Sometimes
caffeine.
I really want one, but it's not worth not sleep.
Mhm. Mm-hmm. I always think I want it, and then I'm always disappointed by the way it tastes. Maybe I just don't know how to order right. I'm always like, okay, I think I got this order for Starbucks. I'm gonna do it, and then I get the drink, and I'm like, ugh. I should have just
Yeah,
had my iced coffee I make myself at home. It's better.
better and cheaper.
Yeah, better and cheaper for sure. All right, Carolyn. Well, great news. I literally couldn't be any happier for you. Just
Yeah,
happy
oh,
for you. So just
I
suck it all in.
really good. And like on days like the last couple days, I haven't been, like I said, I've been fighting off a cold and I had this like splitting headache all day long. But instead of trying to like feed, like before, I'd like, oh, try to feed that, you know, find the food that's going to make me feel better. I just like, just go with it. Sleep, go to sleep, take a nap. If I'm,
Nice.
he said, if I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm tired, I sleep. That's my new mantra.
Ah, good. Love that you remember that one.
If I keep saying, if I'm tired, I sleep. If I'm hungry, I eat. So you know what? And then also try to pay attention to my hunger too. It's like, okay, I'm feeling hungry right now, but am I really hungry? Am I just bored? You know, and
Yes.
try to, am I really, really hungry? Or are you just bored? And, or you just, and if it's like 12, 11:30, 11:30, maybe I'm hungry and it's time to eat lunch, instead of picking around until, or maybe I'm just, or if it's before that, maybe I'm just bored. So go find something, do something.
That's right.
Or if
Amazing.
I'm feeling, because we all have these days where we feel blah, we feel just like, oh, just off, just kind of down or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, just do something on your joy wheel. Do something that, like I said, I watch a couple episodes in the middle, makes me laugh,
Oh,
or,
yep.
call my
Your
friend.
song that you like too, your friend.
Yeah. I like call my friend in Kentucky, but when we call them, we talk too long. We talk for like 3 hours. So,
Fun. I love
yeah.
that.
I'm like, well, we talked for like 3.5 hours and it goes by like that. We just talk.
I love that. You ever like clean your house while you're talking or anything?
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
I'm very good at multitasking.
yeah,
So,
I like doing that. If there's someone that, if I have a long phone conversation, I'm like, wow, I just did all my house chores and barely even knew what was happening because I was so in the conversation. So
yeah.
good for you. I love that you're paying attention and asking those questions before you're taking action of, is this a feeling or is this actual hunger? Just that pause,
Yeah.
check
Just
in.
check in. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not even really concerned with Thanksgiving coming up. I don't even know what I'm doing yet, but, yeah, I'm just not really worried about it. Cause I mean, like I said, because now I'm not in that mode where I'm always worried about how many points something is going to cost in overeating simply because of that.
Mhm.
That.
Yep. Thanksgiving always used to be, either I'm going to way overdo it or I'm going to eat nothing, or now it's just a day.
It's just a day.
Most of the time I'm like, there's a
I
little
think
too much food here. I'd rather have lighter foods than this.
my my one that's turning 21, she has a horrible diet, but she eats hardly anything. She doesn't like anything. Chicken nuggets, macaroni, cheese, and pizza. It's her diet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But so she's not really into any Thanksgiving foods. I don't think there's anything really at Thanksgiving she likes. My oldest one, she's a foodie. She loves food, the one that's in the wheelchair. She loves food. She loves good food. She's very adventurous with food and she loves Thanksgiving food. So I mostly do it for her, but I could honestly do without it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's nothing there that I really, really, really want. I don't really want pie. I don't really want stuffing. I don't really like gravy that much.
Yep.
Um,
Too. Same with
and,
you.
my friend, when she comes over, she makes a charcuterie board for an army. I'm like, what are you doing?
Who is this for?
And who is this for? There's like three.
This doesn't make sense for this environment.
And then I have to like, there's all this stuff left over. Sometimes, when people like, I used to like, people give you stuff. It's like, just say thank you. And sometimes it just goes in the trash. It's like, I'm not going to eat that. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I never had a problem with throwing food away. And my philosophy was it's either going to go to one waste or the other. So garbage
Yep.
can.
Yep. Let's not use our bodies as garbage cans. Let's just use the
I
garbage can.
feel like I have to eat something just because somebody either gave it to me or it's there. They gave it to me and made them happy, and they don't need to know what happens to it after that.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Just receive it for them on their behalf, and that's fine. I agree with you 100%. Yep.
So yes, I'm not worried about giving. Like I said, I don't know it.
Nice. How's the headache? Do you still have the headache now?
It was gone all day. It came back just a little bit. It's just like mildly there, but it's
Okay. Okay.
yeah. I know. I was like, oh, why are this headache that won't go away? I mean, like testing myself for COVID. I'm like, no, it's not COVID.
Do you want to try a little NLP on it right now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, close your eyes. Nice deep breath. And imagine you can travel right inside the headache. Let me know when you're right inside that tissue.
Okay.
Good. And now you imagine you can pull out a flashlight. So what color is it here?
Red.
Okay. And on a scale from 1 to 10, how intense is it?
About a 3.
Okay. And is it moving or still?
Moving.
Mm-hmm. And how is it? Is it fast or slow?
Slow.
Mm-hmm. Good. And if it had a voice, if you were to know, what would it say?
Mm-hmm. Let me out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if you had a sense for what age this was, what would it be?
About 12.
Mm-hmm. Good. And then just being with yourself at age 12 and let me out. Is there any memory or any thought that pops in?
I just used to get lots of headaches when I was in around that age.
Mm, totally. So when you're ready, just imagine you can take your 12-year-old self someplace real or imagined. You can let her out, if you will, somewhere where she feels really safe. Imagine you can enter into her body and then just speaking for her. So the way it made me feel to have headaches at this age was.
The way it made me feel to have headaches at this age was just kind of bad and interrupted with having fun
Mm-hmm.
in school.
Yeah. And the worst part about it for me was
The worst part about it for me was just the discomfort.
mm-hmm. And what I needed more than anything in the world at this time was.
What I needed more than anything else this was just understanding.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that I didn't have that makes me feel.
Frustrated.
Mm-hmm. And the way it makes me feel to say this out loud now is
Just makes me feel released.
mm-hmm. Good. And then when you're ready, just imagining yourself at your age just heard everything that your 12-year-old just said. And imagine you're looking at your 12-year-old and you just respond back to her. So what I hear you saying is,
What I hear you saying is that your headaches make you feel bad. They're painful. And sometimes they're not fun to have. you miss out on things because of your headaches.
Mm-hmm. The way it makes me feel to hear you say that now is,
The way it makes me feel to hear you say that is sad that you felt that way.
Because what I want for you more than anything in the world is,
what I want for you more than anything else in the world is to be pain-free and to be happy and to enjoy life and not have headaches interfere with that.
the way it makes me feel to tell you that now is,
The way it makes me feel to tell you that is, it makes me feel good, and it makes me just makes me feel good.
Good. And then one last time, shift your awareness into your 12-year-old self and imagine she just received everything you just said. And then just speaking back to her. So what I hear you saying now is,
Speaking back to my,
yep, this is your 12-year-old speaking back to you.
oh, speaking back to me. Thank you for understanding, and thank you for being willing to understand me.
And the way it makes me feel is,
The way it makes me feel is, makes me feel better, makes me feel relieved that I can tell you this.
and what I'm realizing now that I didn't realize before is,
But my 12-year-old self, what I'm realizing now that I didn't realize before is maybe how much my headaches affected me.
And the way it makes me feel to realize that now is,
And the way it makes me feel to realize that now is understanding.
beautiful. And because of that, the actions I feel inspired to take now are,
Because of that, the actions I feel inspired to take now are to be more understanding with my daughter and her headaches.
the way it makes me feel to think about taking that action is,
Makes me feel better, makes me feel myself to be more understanding towards her.
beautiful. So when you're ready, just imagine the two of you can embrace in the most beautiful transformational hug you can imagine. Imagine you can update your 12-year-old self on your age today, show her how old you are, show her all the life events that have happened between then and now, and let her know she has access to all your love and support at any time. The two of you become one whole and complete human being, taking a nice deep breath in and out. Imagining a beautiful white light surrounds your body and expands out 9 feet in front of you, 9 feet behind you, 9 feet to your left and to your right, 9 feet above you and below you, sealing up all the edges. This is your safe, sacred space. You can come back to this feeling at any time. Nice deep breath in and out. When you're ready, checking back in with that area in your head. How's your head feeling now?
A little better.
Beautiful. And if that area had one final message to give to you today, what would that be? Just first thing that pops in.
Goodbye.
I love that. Trusting it's for you. When you're ready, you can make your way back.
Yeah.
Nice work. Love that. Awesome. Any other actions you feel inspired to take this week?
Just keep working on what I'm working on, I think. Yeah. Clean my floors. No,
Ah!
I haven't really done it. No.
If you want to, you can.
Yeah. I spot mopped again today. I'm like, let's get these spots in. But yeah, no. Yeah, no, just keep working, just keep taking one day at a time. To the modules, listening to, just soaking it in and just being kind to myself.
Sounds like an amazing plan to me.
Go through my winter clothes.
Oh, go through your winter clothes. Nice.
Yeah, get rid of the ones that I don't want anymore. Keep the ones I do.
Lovely.
See, off here now. Not cold as you, but it's getting colder. California.
I like California in November. It's a nice time.
Yeah, I love, this is my favorite time of year, November.
Really
Because
nice.
Thanksgiving, I mean, I just love Thanksgiving. I mean, because as I just talked about, I don't like, not, it's not so much about the food. It was just Thanksgiving was time when my whole family, we'd all get together, and just the family time and getting together with family, and the changes in the, this time of year, the changes in the, well, you guys have more change in color, but the way the leaves start changing and falling off the trees. And I
Mhm.
just love this time of year.
It's beautiful. There's like a extra, like, how can I describe it? It was like a it was like a shiny goldness or something that compared to this part during the fall. Like there's like the fall and you have the beautiful autumn. I don't know. That was like so sunny still and so bright and so gorgeous. There was like a shine when I walked down the street in California during the fall that, like, I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it, but I loved it. Felt kind of magical.
Yeah, I have this great picture of one of my dogs sitting in all the leaves that had fallen off when she was younger. She's a puppy. All the leaves that are on the ground. My daughter said, favorite picture of her.
Oh, so cute. I love that. I just want to acknowledge how much your energy, like from last week to this week, like you are just so in your body, grounded, like all the stuff we worked on of like your mind was moving really quickly. Like it seems like it's slow, like you seem like you're present, you're here.
Yeah,
I
my mind is.
just really want to acknowledge that in you. Like it's really amazing to see.
I feel such a huge difference, and just, yeah, it's hard to explain, but
Hmm.
a huge difference in just the way I relate to food and just everyday life, and and I think it makes me a better person. I'm not so grumpy because I'm not like, always worrying about, or just never being satisfied. I think that might have has a lot to do with it. Really not being satisfied
Hmm.
with what you ate, or like you've said, when you're not satisfied, then that leaves you. Because I've had a couple meals, like I made salmon and I overcooked it, and it just was not a satisfying meal. And I noticed after the meal, I was looking for more.
Hmm.
I overcooked it. Normally, I don't do that, but just wasn't that good. Nothing, it wasn't just, it didn't taste satisfying. And I made a couple, and I made something else this week. This was a flop, and it just was not satisfying. But I noticed that, after that, you're like looking for more because it wasn't satisfying.
That's right. Isn't it so relieving to know like there's nothing wrong with me that I'm picking? It's just because I wasn't satisfied. So of course I want more, you know? It's just
Hmm.
why satisfaction matters. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, and I think a lot of times I know I previous diet plan, I was making meals more on based on how many points it was, or, you know, because I only had maybe 5 points left and I could only eat this. And it's rarely satisfying.
Right. That's right. And eventually there's some kind of kickback or you want more later or whatever it is. So you're out of the madness, Carolyn. Woo, 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 woo.
If I'm hungry at night, just go to bed.
There you go. Yeah.
Sleep.
Yeah. Sleep.
It shouldn't be if I'm satisfied, then I really shouldn't be. But if I'm searching and I'm like, yeah, you're just searching, just go to bed. Quit.
Nice.
You don't need anything. Just go to sleep. Go listen to a hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
I
Can you?
swear I listen many times because I wake up all night long. I think it's just partly like I had told you, like when you have a handicapped child, you can't really, my neighbor says the same thing. You don't really ever fall into that deep, 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 deep sleep because you're afraid you won't,
Mm,
part of your brain that's like kind of always engaged. So when I wake up, I used to like put on TV. I used to put on like Judge Judy or something where she go blah 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 blah. But then the light from the TV messes with your head. So now I just put on a hypnosis, and pretty soon I'm back asleep. I don't even think I make it like 5 to 10 minutes into it, and I'm back asleep.
perfect.
Where
Beautiful.
toss and turn. So I'm hearing, but
Mm-hmm.
yes, not to say you're boring and you put me to sleep.
You're so boring. You just put me right to sleep. That's fine.
It's calming, it's soothing, just the hypnosis and the, settling your mind, and not not letting your mind run. It gives your mind something to like settle it.
Really, really awesome.
My
Love it.
mind is I try to go back to sleep. Like,
That's
where did I bring in the balloon? No.
I love it.
That's-
The new kind of snack, you know? It's nice to have like a like you were saying, instead of eating before bed, it's like, oh, hypnosis also feels like this other kind of snack, you know? Like it's like a, I don't
Yeah,
know,
I'm like,
more enriching or something.
time to go to bed. I want to go listen to hypnosis. Go to bed. Come on, time to go to
Something
bed.
else to look forward to. Yeah. Love that. That's awesome. Imogen mentioned there was some week that was off. Was it an email or a module for you're actually in week
Yeah,
whatever?
well, weird because I really can't go to because I'm on my phone. But
Okay.
because I was in module 3,
Mm-hmm.
but then it says module 3, intuitive eating.
Yeah.
But then when you click to play it, it says module 4. It
Ah,
says module 4,
thank
but
you for that. Okay.
it
So
says
in
what
module 3, the video, when you click the video in module 3, it says module 4.
kind
Thank
of
you.
like off because above it says intuitive eating module 3, and then when you start to play the video, it's like this is module 4, and I'm like, I thought it was in module 3. So I
Thank
was
you
like,
for telling me
yeah.
that. Okay. In
But
module
and then I'm
3,
like, well,
and she clicks the video, it says module 4, and it's supposed to be 3. Could you look into this? Thank you.
yeah, it was the intuitive eating one.
Okay, the intuitive eating one.
Mm-hmm.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Welcome.
Awesome. All right, Carolyn. Well, if you feel complete, then
I do.
awesome.
For what you bring to people, what you brought to me.
Aw,
Or-
thank you. I'm really grateful that you followed it and you trusted it and you trusted us with your transformation. I mean, I literally lived to have what you're saying to me this entire call, you know, to hear it, because it's just a beautiful, I know how much it meant to me, and I'm just so glad that it gave you the same thing.
Because like I said, I was told, like you said when I first I used to get my Weight Watchers because I still so wanted to lose weight, and now that's like the farthest thing from my mind.
Mm.
Like the farthest thing from my mind. Every day I just, put my pants on, button them. Oh, good, they buttoned today.
Yep. Yep. Great indicator. They're still fitting.
But it just means that you're balancing out, and I'm not depriving myself by no means. I mean,
But also not overdoing it.
we're doing it. It's like before, though, I felt guilty for having a sandwich because I shouldn't have bread.
Mm.
I'm like, I have a sandwich with turkey, tomato.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that so nice just to have a sandwich?
It,
That's so nice.
and, yeah, and don't feel guilty for eating a sandwich.
I
Well,
know.
not for lunch. I should, I know my body. I mean, when you've been a professional dieter, you do know the basics of eating healthy. That's the one thing. You know the basics
Mhm.
of eating healthy. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with the sandwich. Enjoy the sandwich. You want a sandwich, then enjoy the sandwich.
That's right.
And that's what's gonna, like you said, I ask myself, what's gonna make me feel satisfied today?
That's right.
A sandwich. Maybe tomorrow it's a bowl of soup and a piece of toast, or maybe it's just a bowl of soup, or
You got it, girl. Wow. You really got it. You
I have
really
never
got it.
planner. That's what used to drive me. Like I could never meal plan. I just eat what do I feel like having? What do we feel like having? Thank God for the air fryer because you can throw a piece of frozen salmon in there and it still cooks in 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
Yeah, so
Enjoy it. Enjoy every second of it. Sounds like you are.
I am
Oh,
totally. You've given permission to enjoy life, enjoy food, enjoy eating, enjoy myself, enjoy my body as it is.
I
Like I
love
told you, show I watch, and she does an app. It's called No BS Active, which is no body shaming or no body
Okay.
shaming. Her name's Whitney Thor. She has a TLC. She has a one of the television shows where they follow her life, but she's like almost 300 pounds, but she has such a positive attitude about her body, and she just does not care the clothes she wears. She'll like put on a bikini, and she'll
Oh yeah, you
she
mentioned that.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just I mean, she just loves life and loves, and she has a business. She has a dance, teaches. She would teach, have dance classes for, they cater to, women of all sizes. No, there's no body shaming. And yeah. And she was going to start this new water aerobics one. They were going to put on their website. She's in the pool with her. She just loves. It's just great to see. That she's just so positive.
It's so nice just to get rid of the shame.
Mm.
It's just being in that environment around other people that are just accepting and loving and just living life and loving themselves and experiencing everything.
Yeah, because shame, no good, no bueno.
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Awesome. What do you think is going to be next for you after this? Now that you've freed yourself, are you just down to enjoy the ride now?
Down to enjoy the ride.
Right.
Growing up with my daughter in January, and then we have another one scheduled for the next January. Enjoying the food, enjoying, my one daughter can't go on this next one, but my friend is going to go with me. So just
nice.
in ship and have fun. We laugh. She travels with me a lot. When my daughter has appointments, she'll go with me to be my travel buddy. We just laugh and we have a good time. We have fun.
Wow. Sounds like a lovely life you have, Carolyn. Good for you. I know you also have,
hard. But you know what? I do have a good life. I do. A roof over my head. I got food in my pantry. So I say, thank God for the roof over my head, food in my pantry. And I have in my chest, and I got 2 legs that get me where I want to go, 2 arms. I do. I do. Family, good friends.
Good neighbors.
Good neighbors.
Awesome. And you get to experience it now.
Yeah.
Last week, your mind was cruising about all the things in the past, and it's just not even coming up. So
about thinking about the past, just kind of like did this mental forgiveness of like, okay, I have all my like bullies in the past, you don't have any power, I forgive, I listened to this devotional thing just on forgiveness, and it kind of brought back, just forgiveness is not for them anyway, it's for me. And so not letting them have power over me anymore. It doesn't mean I what you did, it just means I don't give you power anymore. And
huge. It's everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we can know that conceptually, like, oh, I should forgive because it's really hurting me. But like, how do we actually get to that point, where we don't feel all of the angst and whatever, but I'm not sensing that that's there for you. So
no, not anymore. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you're right. Because sometimes like at first, forgiving my ex-husband was like really hard, but now it's like, I forgive you. Doesn't mean I have to take you back, but I forgive you.
Right.
Doesn't mean I have to be your best friend. Doesn't mean I have to be your friend at all.
Correct. But the forgiveness is there. Amazing. Awesome, Carolyn. So happy for you. Thank you. This was kind of like a podcast interview. How would you feel about using it as a podcast? I don't know if there's anything that
you can't.
Anything that could we use it as a podcast? It just seemed like a great conversation that could probably make a difference for a lot of people. Okay.
Yeah. Because I think too, a lot of people really do start off, the idea of weight loss, and then it becomes something totally different. But you have to be willing to let that go.
You have to be willing to let that go.
Because if that's there, then that's why, it disappeared shortly after. Not what it's about. After listening to the, modules, like, no, this is not what it's about. Like you said, in your life, it did happen because your body normalized, and you normalized your mind, and normalized your body got, oh, hey, things are cool. I don't need to hold on to this fat anymore. I can go. And it just happened because. So yeah, so thank you. I really have gotten a lot out of this. It's been so worth it.
So happy to hear that.
Everybody's like, oh, it's just gonna work, But then it's not about, like I said, not about the weight loss. It became about my mind and my freedom. Hey, my cat. Here comes my cat.
Aw, hi cat.
Here, Siamese. He got out the other night. He's an indoor cat, and I was looking for him in the.
Oh, what a pretty cat.
And I went, I'm like, oh my gosh, where is he? So I went outside and I called his name. I'm like, Kevin. He's like huddled up under my daughter's car. It's like, I was so scared. I've never been.
Really? Oh, I love that his name is Kevin.
Well, we used to have all three Jonas brothers. We had Nick, Kevin, Joe, Nick, and Kevin, the Jonas brothers.
Oh my God, it's so fun.
My daughter's named him after the Jonas brothers. But yeah, Kevin. He's a stunning baby. Yeah.
That self-actualization piece of the Maslow's is letting go of attachment is one of the requirements, and also letting go of what other people think.
So
yeah. What are you saying about the letting go of attachment? Of just like, of having to lose the weight. Like you were saying, it's necessary to just kind of be willing to let it go. Go for the ride.
Go for the ride.
Aw. So happy for you. So happy for you. Awesome. All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your evening. Enjoy. Yeah. I'll see you next week. Thanks, Carolyn. Congratulations. Really, I'm so happy for you. It's really awesome.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Okay.
All right. See you soon. Good night. Bye. If you are serious about taking action on your struggle with food, body, and weight, then this is for you. Go ahead and text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483. Immediately after texting that number, you will get access to our free training that will tell you why you can't figure the food, body, and weight thing out, why you can't keep weight off even after you've been successful in the past, and how to actually overcome it, including a mini hypnosis session at the end. Don't miss out. Text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483.